Most developers just talk about selling their side projects, but I actually did it 3 times before I turned 27 and earned over $10,000. But here is what nobody tell you. Getting paid is just a beginning. The real lesson comes from after the sale. Today, I'm breaking down exactly how each project happened. The good, the bad thing, the 2 a.m. debugging sessions that taught me more than any corporate job ever would. If you build side projects that just sit on GitHub, this is for you. 3 projects, 3 completely different outcomes. 2020, RemoteProtocols. 2022, SportEventManager. 2024, Custom Rental Management System. But this isn't a highlight reel. I'm going to show you a real timeline, including the disasters that almost killed each project. 2018. I'm working in a small IT company in Poland. I started as a field technician, worked up to IT admin, and I'm watching chaos every day. But I had an advantage. I lived this house firsthand. Picture this, 50 plus technicians, each getting 6 paper tickets every day. Each ticket meant filling out personal info, working hours, parts used during the repairs, all by hand. Then, these papers would sit on someone's desk for days. The manager had to manually verify everything, go to the third-party service desk software and close each ticket individually. From there, it went to accounting, who had to enter every single ticket into the invoicing system to prepare customer bills. And finally HR, copying every technician hours from every ticket into spreadsheet to calculate payrolls. 1 ticket, 5 different persons touching it. Hours of manual work. I watched this every day and I thought it has to be a better way. So, I did something that most developers are too scared to do. I went to my manager with a proposal. I can build software to replace this entire paper workflow. His reaction? He was excited. Looking back, that should have terrified me. But here is the thing, I had so little knowledge about production software that I didn't have the fears that I have now. I just went with the flow and started creating a system that would mimic current workflow but digitally. Tech stack, .NET backend, Microsoft SQL database, Blazor server for the frontend, hosted on an on-premise IIS server. Deployment, manual copying files through RTP. Yeah, I know. The biggest technical issue? Blazor server with unstable VPN connections for field technicians. Not my smartest choice, but I didn't know any better. Here is what I did right though. Every Friday, I showed different departments what I've built. Accounting and managers, they were thrilled. Less work for them, because I've created direct integration with a third-party service desk to automatically get tickets and close them when work was done. Plus, integration with the invoicing system. Now, tickets automatically get into invoices with all data populated. HR department, they were the happiest. I eliminated their job entirely. Work hours reports created directly from the digital tickets. The technicians, they were skeptical. Change is hard, but after a few weeks, they get used to it. Now here is the brutal truth. My code was a student-level garbage. Poor handling of an unstable connection for the field technicians. When their VPN connection dropped, they lose all the work. Not ideal situation when you are middle of the repair. Poor performance after a few years. As data grew, system slowed down. I didn't optimize queries, didn't think about indexes, didn't plan for a scale. Questionable database design, basic error message, no proper logging. But here is the crazy part. It solved a problem. It freed up almost 2 full-time employees worth of administration work. Invoicing went from days to minutes. Payroll calculations went from hours to seconds. The system is still running today, 6 years later, and till now processed over 1 million tickets. The lesson? Business value always beats perfect code. Plot twist. This came to me from a hobby. I've been always doing some sport and I was looking for something new. I saw CrossFit competition live and my friend told me about this CrossFit box in my town. The owner, David, is a coach there. He coaches all new members for the 2 months to make a proper introduction. This is how I met him. After some workout, he casually asked me if I can build for them a landing page because he knew that I work in something IT related. But then, I've heard about a disaster from a previous year. Their competition system broke on a Saturday after day 1 on a major event. Complete system failure. They had to spend entire night rewriting scores from paper into spreadsheet to calculate points so the event could continue on Sunday. No one was happy about it. Athlete, organizers, sponsors, total mess. I wasn't involved in the disasters, but it showed me exactly what they need, a reliable software. The next year, I got involved in organizing events, handling graphics, creation content, stuff like this. They were using a third-party software for registration and scoring. The registration part went well, but scoring not exactly. They didn't have any website interface. That means that on every event, athlete had to go to the event office to get to know how many points they had. I saw this chaos and I've decided to do something. Just a simple JavaScript application so athletes could see their scores online. It was ugly and written on my knee, but it worked. The whole idea was to ship something fast. Any system is better than no system. No clean code held together with praise and the JavaScript. Just a simple application to put scores and access them via web. It worked fine through the entire 2021 season, and I did it free of charge. Based on this experience, we've decided to put me on charge in creating a complete software solution. Something that handles everything. Registration, scoring, marketing, online events. Here is how it actually evolved. Version 1 2021, simple calculator, Angular frontend, .NET backend, simple PostgreSQL, couple of tables. Version 2, it was 2022, first real iteration, Blazor WebAssembly frontend, .NET backend, PostgreSQL, clean architecture with CQRS, but frontend was too complicated and hard to maintain. Single database for each data type, files stored directly in file system, manual deployment, logs stored in files with no analysis tools. Version 3, big refactor before 2025 season. Vue 3 frontend, .NET backend, PostgreSQL, MongoDB, MineIO as databases. Full Docker containerization with Traffic as reverse proxy. GitHub Actions for CI/CD. Watchtower for auto updates. Portainer for container management. Mailgun integration, Secu for centralized logging. This is what real software evolution looks like. Not pretty, but driven, but actual business needs. 2022, first day of new system going live. I was watching closely, waiting for the first registration. I knew that the registration link was only sent to the people who win events in the past years, so I knew that to the proper registration phase we had like 6 hours. 9 AM, first registration happens. I verified that payment went successfully, double check in our payment provider, but I didn't see any athletes registered in the system. My heart sank. Money taken, no registration. This is every developer's nightmare. I rushed to the server to collect logs. I tried to reproduce this issue in my local environment. I managed to find the bug, fix it, deploy it to production. 2 hours later, everything was working. Nobody know about this till this day. I fixed everything before anyone noticed, and I corrected this broken transaction with manual SQL scripts. This is what no tutorial teaches you. Production incident at scale, under pressure, with real money involved. Here is what most developers miss. It isn't just sell and forget. Monthly payment for server support, including database backups, servers updates. Application supports, including verifying transactions, adding new products or events. Live event support. I'm on call during the live events. 3 years later, I'm still extending this system. Steady side income, happy client, and a lot of experience I wouldn't gain from a corporate world. This came through a former colleague. Client needed rental management system with invoicing integration. Keyword integration. They didn't want any generic app. They want something that will talk to their invoicing system. They had a 10 years old system for calculating rent, but it wasn't supported anymore, so they were doing crazy amount of manual work. Picture this, 2 ladies managing over 200 tenants. Instead of using the old system properly, they were writing extra fees manually on paper for each tenant, then manually entering all the data into the old system so it could generate invoices. Manual calculations, lot of mistakes. Because of this manual work, total chaos. On first meeting, they show me exactly how they work and what they wish for. Excel hell, papers scattered around everywhere. For meeting 2, I came prepared. I'd registered on the forum of their invoicing system to get any support or feedback. I also managed to get API documentation in a text file, not even in a proper way. But here's the kicker. The old API wasn't supported multi-threading. I had no idea about it. So I made the same mistake for 2 days before I figured out how to even run this API. Once I figured it out, I've created a proof of concept to show to the client how their future apps can look like. But here is where I added the real value. I suggested to them tree-based fee assignment. Now they can group the same fees by the building and they can change it in one place instead of going to the 200 tenants individually to change one fee. This process improvement win me this project. Then disaster strike. PDF invoicing aren't generating. They cannot provide any documents for this over 200 tenants. It was business stopping issue. I had 6 hours to fix it. Otherwise, client had to go to the invoicing system directly and print each invoice one by one for over 200 tenants. He wouldn't be happy at all. Here is the problem. It was related to this old specific API, so I couldn't find any help on Stack Overflow on any in the web. I had to come up with my own solution. It took me 6 hours of debugging and creating new solutions, but at the end I was able to override the API printing with my custom design and generating PDF through the browser. Production software means being ready to solve the problem that don't exist in any tutorials. Looking back at all 3 projects. Problems hide in a plain sight. Your current workspace, hobbies, network connections all have opportunities. End users beat perfect architecture. Friday demos with real users taught me more than any design pattern. Production incidents are the best teachers. 2 AM debugging sessions under pressure teach you more than any bootcamp. Ongoing relationships beat one-time sales. Support contracts, feature additions, steady income. Business value trumps perfect code. My student code ran for 6 years because it solved real problem. That's the real story. $10,000 earned, but what is most important, a ton of experience that any 9-to-5 job could give me. Now I'm starting fresh, with a Moodmate, my first B2C app, but this time I will document everything. Next week, MVP in 30 days, challenge begins. You will see exactly how I apply these lessons to a completely new type of project. The question, what is your biggest blocker? Finding client, technical skills, maybe actually finishing what you started. Drop a comment, I've probably been exactly where you are. If you want to follow the Moodmate journey, subscribe and hit the bell. Next video drops on Sunday.